Wonderful. Over to you, organizers.
Uh, Namaste, everyone. Uh, Starting the webinar with one of the shlokas from Hitopadesh, which means those success comes through efforts, not wishful thinking. Prey does not walk into the mouth of a sleeping lion. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Youth Hindu Entrepreneur Network's Gyan Sabha. My name is Advocate Sanket Takle. I'm absolutely delighted to welcome you all here today. Before we begin, let me quickly introduce who we are and why we are here. About Hindu Economic Forum UK, we are part of Hindu Economic Forum United Kingdoms, a platform dedicated to empowering the Hindu community through economic growth, networking, and mentorship. HEF UK connects Hindu entrepreneurs, professionals, and business leaders across the UK, creating opportunities rooted in dharmic values. About the Young Hindu Entrepreneur Network, under Hindu Economic Forum's guidance, we created the Young Hindu Entrepreneur Network, or YHEN, specifically for young professionals and students aged in between 18 to 35. Our mission is simple: help you build successful careers and businesses while staying connected to your cultural roots and values. Now, speaking about Gyan Sabha, this is this is our second Gyan Sabha, our monthly knowledgeable sessions where we bring industry experts to share real practical insights you can which you can use immediately. This isn't theory. This is what actually works. Today's topic is something every single one of you need to hear: cracking the hidden UK job market. We have with us uh, our dearest Jeev Sahoo, founder of Step8Up, with over 20 years experience in UK recruitment and corporate hiring. From student to CEO, Juji has hired at every level. He knows exactly what employers look for, where these jobs are actually hidden, and what makes candidate stand out. This is just an immediate note. A few things before we start. First, this is purely a value based session. We are not selling anything. Both Hindu Economic Forum and Young Hindu Entrepreneur Network UK have one clear goal: to empower the Hindu community with the right network, access, and opportunities, all grounded in dharmic value. That's it. Second, stay until the end. We are providing excellent resources to everyone who stays for the full session. Particular practical tools you can use in your job searching immediately. Third, we'll have 15 minutes of question and answers at the end. So please drop your questions in the chat as we go. We will answer as many as we can. Please keep yourself on mute. Feel free to use the chat for questions. We are recording this session and you will receive the recording along with resources by tomorrow. All right, without further delay, let me hand over to someone who has been in the hiring game for over 2 decades. We know exactly what you need to do to stand out in this competitive market. Just one request to everyone: we would be having a link in the chat where you can join us, and you all can get connected with us through Youth Hindu Entrepreneur Network Connect group, which is a WhatsApp group where you can get daily updates And yes, over to Jeev. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Brilliant. Namaste, everyone. Thank you. My name is Jeev Sahoo, and very few people call me by the full name, Divya Jeevan. So I've shortened it to Jeev. And we have some of our esteemed members over here who have seen me before introducing as Sahu like Yahoo, if you want to remember me. I'm really privileged to be talking with you. Please use the chat to ask questions. If there is any issue with sound or anything, please put it on the chat. Some of our valuable volunteers are helping us out, so thank you for this. Now, what are we going to get out of today? We are going to look at some very special things. Now, all of you may or must have faced the issues with jobs, and we will see what are we going to solve today. What is the real pain? How can we reframe it? Some CV must do points, and Sanket kindly mentioned about me being in the hiring game, but I have been in the entrepreneurship game in reality, looking at the VC side of things as well. So I've been on both sides of the table, and I've seen what people do, how people look at CVs, what software they have been using. And I will also share some mistakes so that you don't do the same mistakes. I always encourage to do new mistakes. The hidden job market tips. There are ways to find jobs without even going through the spray and pray kind of approach that people do through LinkedIn and Indeed. Some actions, and I will prioritize this for you, and a commitment to do something. Now, all of this is glorified BS if we don't do anything. I mean, people feel very inspired after listening to this, but even if you do one small thing every day, this is going to create amazing changes. But if you don't do anything, well, you could be watching Netflix instead of listening to me. Maybe Netflix is more interesting. What we will not do, you guys must be knowing a lot of things about how you usually search for jobs, so we will skip those things. You are all very intelligent. You know how to tap into these things. I will try to give you things which you don't know, and it will be more valuable. A little request, like Sanketji mentioned, interact as much as possible, contribute. You might have something that even I don't know. I'm always learning. And please act on whatever we are listening to today. So, just before some time, I was asking to put where you are from, and thankfully, many of you have posted where you're located. I'm going to ask to the general audience, what is the pain that we are solving when we are looking for a job? Any open remarks? If you can put it on the chat, it will be great. What comes to mind? What is the pain that we are solving when we are either applying for a job, getting a job? Let's hear something on the chat. Brilliant. How to write an effective CV. Okay, brilliant. Thank you, Chirag. Who else? Okay, profile not getting selected in the first place. That's a really good pain. Yeah, this is something we got to resolve it. Okay, what else? How to use AI while writing CV, applications, and cover letter. And more importantly, where not to use AI as well, right? Because it has its own pros and cons. Visa sponsored jobs, very important question. Poor communication from recruitment. You guys have really put some good thought into this. Okay. What else? CV tweaks for each application. Looking for jobs after career break. Such an important question. It is coming in one of the slides. Weak LinkedIn profile. Brilliant. You keep putting this. I have multiple screens, so I can see your chat as well as I can see the slides going on. So I really wanted to do this pulse check so that I can understand where you are coming from. Not networking effectively. How to stand out from amongst hundreds of applicants. And let me tell you the truth, it can be thousands of applicants. Recently, we were seeing for the same job, there were like more than 1,000 applicants these days. Unfortunately, the job market is not the easiest of them. Now, why should you listen to me? I'll be very, very brief. Why should you listen to Step It Up? Who are Step It Up? Um, we are a training and consulting company, and we help job seekers in Hampshire Council, Surrey Council, and West Sussex as direct providers, and Norfolk, Suffolk, even Lancashire as indirect suppliers, meaning there are larger companies where we are vendors, and we work with large recruiters like Alexander Mann. We have even taught to the NHS, so we are accredited, Ofsted rated, and so forth. Our mission is positive impact with practical education. I say that anybody can read a slide about swimming, doesn't mean they can swim. We don't just read slides, we convert it to practical action. And without action, things really do not. Seriously, action is everything. Rest of the knowledge you can find on ChatGPT and Google, but action is everything. This has been my past. Left to right is about 24 years in 10 different countries. I've been a mechanical engineer, I've been a mechatronics engineer, software engineer, project manager, investment manager. I've raised capital. The TVS Apache, I was in the R&D side of things. The Mercedes C-Class has my software. Some of the trains, trucks have my software. With Onto, we raised 250 million USD, so I was part of this. And yeah, people still call us for business plan competitions, venture capital work, board roles, and so forth. And we are listed in government programs like Enterprise Nation and so forth. I did my master's in France, so I have a really good relationship over there. And all of this that we have done is real credit to our team. Without my team, I would not be able to do that. And when I speak of team, we're very privileged to have a very prestigious board, nearly 200 years of experience between these experts. In fact, one of the person is actually an ex-board member of Indeed. So you guys are using Indeed as a tool. One of the members from Indeed is our board member. And yeah, they have been in the training and hiring industry since a long time. So let me switch to a very brief story. Uh, this is, wow, 2010 feels like yesterday. I was sitting in a classroom in France, and my friend texted me, Toyota is in the campus. And I was in a completely different room. Those days there was no WhatsApp, by the way. You guys are quite young. I have to double check everybody, but still, 2010 there was no WhatsApp. I simply replied, Toyota is in the campus. Where should I come? Should I wear a suit? I was in a t-shirt in a class. And because that guy switched off his phone, he did not put on do not disturb. He literally switched it off. He never replied. So I decided, let me go and meet these guys. So I went to the right building and found where Toyota is. And I found there was so many big people sitting with suits and mic and talking and so forth. So what I did, I went to the last bench and sat in a corner so that I do not disturb anyone. I listened to everybody. They were talking about electric vehicles those days and how battery and sustainability and environment, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, they said, do you guys have any questions? And some people had some questions. I was really nervous. I was not wearing a suit. I was not invited to there. I was sitting in the last bench. But I actually had a real question. So I thought, let me ask. And I asked that question. And they answered that question. And everything was fine. There was some networking, etc. 2 months later, I get an invitation for an internship in Toyota Brussels. What I did not know, the person that was answering my question was the head of Toyota Susho Europe. And I actually had to Google what is Toyota Susho. Then I found out that Toyota Susho is actually bigger than Toyota Motors. They are the holding company, they are the bank of Toyota Motors. And 3 months later, I got an internship, and 6 months later, I got a role. And I cannot believe how it connected, but many, many, many times when you have something genuine, when you network, and when you go and meet the right person, magic can happen. And I'm going to talk about those bits in the hidden job market. In the latter part, I will talk a bit more about some CV tweaks. I have been noting some of the points that you have shared, so I'll answer those questions and we'll summarize with some action points. Brilliant. Any guesses what the hidden job market is? Is it something that nobody speaks about? Is it like who knows who, whose uncle is working in what company, what do you think is the hidden job market? Any suggestions? Hiring via word of mouth. Nice one, Chirag. Networking. Thank you, Mira. Jobs gained through direct offers or networking. Okay. Brilliant. Amazing answers. Now, my way of putting this is these are not about secret websites or something. These are about unspoken business problems that companies have. And when you are going to a company to get a job, to do a job, every company is trying to solve a problem, whether it is at a company level, revenue, and so forth, whether it is at a team level, whether it is at a technology level, you are solving something, and these are all connected. And on purpose, I put a space between net and working. It's networking and it's value creation. When you are looking for a job, you are not solving your problem. Unfortunately, let me break this to you. In fact, there will be a few more such surprises. In reality, you are solving someone else's problem, and by solving someone else's problem, you get paid either as a client, either as a freelancer to a client, or as an employee to an employer. So you are actually creating value. If they cannot see that they can create this value, it's not really a permanent offer, and even if you get the offer, it may not last long. Okay, so all the answers that you put: networking, gain through direct offers, word of mouth, reference, things which are not advertised, hiring through employees connections or referrals, they're very powerful. But they see something in you. They say, I need this person, let me hire them. Okay, so again, if I am asking you the question once more, before, when I asked, you mentioned whether the CV is not updated, whether we should use AI for a cover letter and so forth, how to make sure that you get the right job. What is the real pain that we are solving? Showing your value. Yes, Aryan, showing your value to the employer. That's one good thing. Any other comment? Passion and skills. Brilliant. So, in short, the pain when I started asking at the beginning is not your pain, it's not my pain, it's the pain of the customer that we are looking at. If we can connect that pain, if we can solve that pain, whether through our CV experience, project work, the way we speak, passion and skills, and so forth, our job is guaranteed. And this is where you can actually jump the queue instead of spray and pray through LinkedIn, through Indeed, and so forth. And this is where many people actually get invited for jobs rather than pushing for jobs. Business needs. Yes, Akshata, that is really, really good. So that is the key pain. And when you do this value mapping, their pain, your solution, when it matches, that is a match that carries on and on. So we actually start with a problem first conversation. Many times people ask, I'm looking for a role in data or tech or ops and so forth. In fact, people have come to me, especially students, asking me, what is the starting salary in Step8Up? They know what Step8Up does. They know we can sponsor work visas and those kind of things. They know we can do technology work. But when somebody comes to me and asks me what is the starting salary in Step8Up, what is the motivation as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a recruiter, or somebody hiring to answer that question if I don't know whether that person can solve my problem? But if I know that that person can solve my problem, whether it is in data science, whether it is in a project or technology, full stack software, etc., if I'm convinced that they can solve the problem, salary becomes an easier question. But if they start the conversation like this, seriously, like in relationships and dating, people will run away, employers will run away. When you start a conversation, you share things like, I'm speaking to companies like XYZ where this is becoming a bottleneck. I'll give a real example. There is a lot of talk about AI, but they are not able to implement AI. That's becoming a bottleneck. There is a lot of noise about AI and so forth. As companies grow, productivity is a problem. There are dashboards which are paid for, but people are not using. And when we are giving these insights, people get interested to talk with you, and you're asking, is this something that your team is seeing as well? Manual reporting is slowing decision. We work with councils, and councils have a lot of manual reporting. It does slow discussion. AI is being discussed but not implemented. Customer churn is rising quietly. People are going to start their own company or going in caring roles. In fact, there was a study that every paid person in the UK is kind of paying for at least 1.5 other people, and so forth. So these problem first conversations are, let me double check if people are waiting just so that I make sure. Yeah, I can confirm that there is nobody waiting in the lobby. I have admitted everybody. Thank you. But yeah, I'll keep an eye. Superb. These problem first conversations are working because you're not really asking for a job, you're diagnosing a problem, and they can connect with that. That becomes a really deep conversation. And many times the answer is, yeah, we are struggling with this. Why? Because you would have research them. If I have to find a job with Sanket, I will double check his company, I'll double check his website, I'll see his LinkedIn post, I will see what else is happening, who is the director of the company, how does it look in company's house, and so forth. And I will understand that they are recently hiring new people and so forth. So there are some basic signals. I will find who is my friend who is connected to Sanket and so forth, etc. And slowly we are creating a conversation that actually starts going beyond saying, do you guys hire right now? When are you hiring? Because those are the kind of things that do not help. Now, two kinds of comments get most conversation even on LinkedIn or social media and in real life. One is advice, insight, expertise, meaning if I tell you something that you don't know, it gets a lot of likes. And the second one is disagreement opinion. I mean, how many times do you see Trump saying something illogical and people start arguing about it, whether they agree or not, but it's a long thing. And if you say the sun does not rise in the east, you will have more comments than if you say that the sun rises in the east. However, if you add something valuable to the discussion, of course, I'm oversimplifying that, but if there is a project management discussion going on and you're actually adding something to that, you will get a lot more discussion. And advice or disagreement, they get more comments. So instead of applying first, think about connecting first. Think about that for a moment. We are creating a professional relationships. Most roles are spoken about even before they are posted. By the time they are posted is because they could not find anybody in their network. So they said, let's go to the outer market. And the entrepreneurs in this particular audience can agree with me, can disagree with me. You can share your opinion, but people first go to their own network to find their next team member. So people actually are helping curious people who are asking for advice or giving advice, but if you show desperation, does not work. Here is the big thing. Now tell me how many people agree with this sentence, how many people are surprised with this sentence, and how many people do not understand this sentence. I am saying companies do not hire people. Any comment to that sentence? You can put it on the chat. They hire talent. Good one, Mira. Okay. What else? What does this mean? Yeah, companies are looking for great, passionate learners. Okay, that's a good one. They meet their own requirement. Very true. Okay. Okay, here is what it means. At the end of the day, the decision is taken by a human being. So people hire people. At the end of the day, it is a human decision. People hire people. So when you are trying to go around the spray and pray option, you are actually connecting with people. You're connecting with team leads who are really busy. You have to find a solution to them. Hiring managers who are really frustrated, senior practitioners, and people like HR with huge respect. I mean, they're really, really important. You don't start with HR. The best of conversations, in fact, I'll give you a real example. Somebody connected to our board member asking for some advice. That board member connected back to us and said, Would you like to see the profile of this guy? And believe me, a CEO will quickly listen to the board member instead of Indeed or LinkedIn. Even if your CV is super duper, looks amazing, if a board member has sent saying, I saw this comment, etc., etc., can you have a quick look? And of course, I can still say no, but I will consider a board member's opinion. I will consider a team lead's opinion. If we have cyber trainers, I would consider my trainer's opinion before I consider LinkedIn or Indeed opinion. Making sense? So even if companies are actually posting the job, they pay for it, the final thing is you're dealing with humans. Of course, you're being filtered by AI, you're filtered by ATS, you're filtered by different tools, but the final decision is being taken by humans. And if you have convinced these people through networking, through other ways of working, you are definitely going to be jumping the queue in a positive way. Like I said, insight always gets more comments, disagreement gets more comments, not opportunities. And when I go and ask, if I have to ask again, Sanket, forgive me for using you as an example, but if Sanket has a job, and if I go and ask for a job, he won't like it. But if I ask, how is it in the legal industry, Sanket? You are an advocate and this is the size of this thing, etc. It has actually flipped the power dynamic. I don't look desperate. I don't seem desperate. The body language is different. The voice is different. And the resistance to reply to me is also less because I'm asking for advice. I'm asking for um, insights. I'm not saying, do you know any openings? And every time I have spoken about, do you know any openings? People do run away. Now, you could ask, can I get some advice about how your team is handling this, etc.? Where is your management busy right now? People love talking about themselves. They love giving advice. They hate feeling sold to. So if you're kind of pushing your CV, if you're pushing your connection, if you're pushing your project, that doesn't work. So when you are asking for insight, they talk, you listen to problems. Like in therapy, the three magic words in here, it's not I love you, it's not I am sorry. The three magic words are tell me more, tell me more. And again, using Sanket as an example, if Sanket says, you know what, this legal industry, the AI is really disrupting it, and I'm really worried about my team and so forth. Really, what's happening, Sanket? I have not tried to give immediate solution. I'm just asking what's happening. And it opens up. The more they talk, the more opportunities you have in order to be their favorite person instead of pushing CVs through LinkedIn, etc. So they might say, we might like to talk to you. Would you consider a trial offer or something like that? And that is where the internal referrals are working. So, how is the warm introduction ladder? It's not that always people have somebody's uncle working in some company or etc. etc. And even if that's the case, it might be a completely different type of problem for both the persons. The fastest path is someone you know, someone they know, and someone in the role or someone who was in the role in that company. And these days, through LinkedIn, through connections, even if you connect to me, if you connect with the senior members present in this, you will see that one way or the other, there will be a connection available. I promise. I have 6,000 followers. One way or the other, you will find people help. And when you are genuinely asking that question, genuinely asking for advice, not asking for a job, they will do that. If you say, I'm applying for a job, can you recommend my name? 9 out of 10 times they don't work unless they're your best friend or a relative, but even that has its own problem. Even a weak connection will beat a cold application through Indeed, LinkedIn, JobServe. I'm still respecting all the platforms, but even a simple word of mouth. On the other side, even a simple bad word of mouth works against you. You might have an amazing CV, but he says, you know what? Yeah, that guy, I have worked with this person and you don't take him. Doesn't help. That means the thing is gone. So use this kind of warm intelligence, not just cold applications. Of course, you can use cold applications, but warm intelligence helps you jump the queue positively. So, warm intelligence, ex-colleagues. Now, people might say, I'm very young, I don't have ex-colleagues. You do. I will show you. If you go, see, this is a networking event. You are having at least, I mean, so many people attending this right now. Somebody will be connected to somebody. Go and attend smaller events. There is a slide coming out of that. Go and talk to them. These people are volunteering to organize events. So many people know so many people. Go and volunteer for something. Training, bootcamp instructors, suppliers, clients of people, alumni network, your own alumni, meetup organizers, event organizers. When I was in Bangalore, there was a startup Saturday meeting happening, and I was mesmerized where how the pitching is happening, and there are VCs sitting and so forth. And I said, do you guys need help? And they said, of course we need help. We need volunteers. My first role there was to put chairs and to put timer. And it was a really good feeling because they were millionaires and VCs, and I was saying to them, time up. But they needed volunteers, and because I was a volunteer, I could connect with so many VCs just when they were having a coffee. And my job was to move chairs to make sure the room was ready. So these kind of things are really, really powerful. And slowly you will start getting the right person in the company, the hiring manager in the company, the lead in the company, and direct conversations will bypass the blockers in the company. Whether it is compliance related, HR related, visa related, etc., the blockers are bypassed. And this is where we see a lot of sponsorships happening as well. Now, many times people say, oh, I heard Jeev speaking about this, so I'm going to spend every 2 hours, I'm going to ask advice on LinkedIn, blah, blah, blah. If someone gives you guidance, act on it and go back to them and say, well, you asked me to do this and I tried it. Seriously, for example, I am asking you to go and do a networking event. After a few days, if you send me a LinkedIn message saying that I attended a networking event and I found one connection, I will be really happy because somebody has listened to me. And so when someone has given that advice, implement on it or update on it or do a LinkedIn post about it and saying that, oh, great advice given by this and this, etc., because you are helping them. So you are actually building a reputation, right? Not a request. Agree, disagree, making sense? They're starting to think, this guy is good. I need a cyber person or I need an AI person. I need um, project manager. Oh, this person is actually good in English or good in speaking or good in this and that, etc. They start seeing something that your CV is not able to say. There is a slide coming, but if you have the number, you can Google it if you want. And I have real data because I saw these things happening. Can you tell what is the average amount in time duration a recruiter looks at your CV? Put it in the chat. How long does a recruiter look at your CV? 6 to 30 seconds, okay? Let us see some more numbers. And I'll keep a look on the chat while we are doing 2 minutes, 8 to 10 seconds, 6 seconds, and so forth. Okay, brilliant. I'll give you the answer in a moment. Now, please start becoming useful in their eyes. I know you're all intelligent, you're all useful, you're really great, but you have to be great in their eyes. So that means if you have created an article for the legal, let's say I'm still using Sanket as an example, and I have a white paper about the legal industry and AI, and I'm going to send it, Sanketji, this is what I found, and I saw it's a 2-page PDF. Oh, hope it is useful. Is going to remember me. I did not ask for a job. I gave him something. And you can write your own thing, short article, small piece of work. All our learners, we placed 60 people in the last 12 months back into the job market. And what we have done is every time they have done this bootcamp, they go and do a demo in front of employers. When a person is doing a demo, and that demo is only 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but they can show their code, they can show their English skills, they can show their speaking skills, body language, conflict management, etc., because they are working in a team. So they are actually able to see way more than what your CV is telling them. Agree, disagree? Challenges? I'm open for everything. I've seen it all. So you're actually creating value first and opportunity later. And this works in real life relationships as well. If somebody keeps asking you for money, do you give them money right away? If somebody gives you value first, do you start creating trust in that way? So this is really, really important. You be useful before you are needed, and you be useful in their eyes, not in your eyes. You are already amazingly intelligent. In fact, this is what I see. I cry when an average candidate will take away your role and you are more intelligent. Just because your presentation was not good, your connection was not good, and an average person came, maybe compared to your CV, and they got the job. And you will be saying, oh my gosh, I deserved that one. I don't know why they gave it to the other one. It happens. It's not good. So attend smaller events instead of larger events so that you can have a bit longer connections, longer conversation. You can see how they are standing. It's a stock image. Of course, whenever I stand, I keep an open stance. I know I'm sharing on Teams, so you cannot see a lot of me. I keep my hands open. I hold a glass of water or a coffee. And if I'm talking with 3 4 people, I let other people in so that I can have a talk rather than just talking with one person for 2 hours. You can talk with 5 persons for 10 minutes each. Roundtables, workshop. If you Google it also, you will find at least 10 events next week happening virtually. You don't even need to hop on the train or the bus or the car. There are networking happening so that you can go and ask them real questions. After doing that, again, like in any relationship, follow up like a professional. You are all professionals here. We are asking for a professional role. Even if the feedback is we don't need you, I politely ask, all right, that's okay to hear. Could I know why? If you have 5 seconds of your time, could you tell me why you don't need me? That's okay. And 8 out of 10 times, when they start saying why, I don't I don't immediately go defensive and say, oh no, that is wrong or this is right. I say you are right. Maybe you will find a better person, but this is what I bring to the table. And once I have done that, 8 out of 10 times that no has converted to a yes. But if I don't follow up, how will I get feedback? When we start building value in the eye of the recruiters, especially by doing these kind of things. If you go back, sharing resources, relevant articles, doing networking, talking to them, understand what is their problem. I'll give you a real example. Connected with a recruiter from Coventry area, and this person advertised a job at 10 o'clock. And this is where I got the number when somebody said hundreds of application. For one job posted at 10 o'clock, he got 650 applicants by 2 p.m. on the same day. So the recruiter's problem that day was, I cannot look at all these things. Half of them don't even know that they're applying for this. I was talking, there was a learner, and I said, let me help you out. Is that okay? And I am creating value by saying that I'm going to filter these things and send you 5 candidates which are better than the 600 candidates. I solved a problem for them. Now in your case, okay, we are not training company. You are a candidate. Share something in project management, data, AI, whatever is your field. Do this research beforehand so that you know their problem. Remember at the very beginning of this talk, I said, what is the pain we are solving? That recruiter is trying to place somebody. You figure out, does this job needs relocation? What is the salary scale on there? What is it that you have done in the past that you can actually demo it? And those are the kind of value that you are creating. Okay. And you have mentioned eye of recruiters, hiring manager, and HR. Now, if you look at the recording again, and I'm going to go back, I'm actually asking you, don't go to the HR right away. Don't go to the recruiter right away. You remember, businesses don't hire, I'm just trying to go back to that slide. Companies do not hire people. Go to team leads, go to senior practitioners, and so forth. Don't directly go to HR because there are a lot of people who are ready to block you. If I have a really good relationship with the team lead of a company, then my in is way easier, and this is where they start seeing the value. And the second part of the answer is start doing it and tell me how it goes. It's all about practice. It will not work in the first bit, and later you will see that things are working out. You can find them on LinkedIn. You can find them on networking events, like I mentioned, small networking events. Even if you Google that, what are the job career events, etc., just next week itself, you will find so many online job events, in-person job events, and you go and start talking with them and start creating the value that I said at the beginning of the call. So great to meet you. Found our conversation useful. You're not pitching. If you're pitching, you look desperate. You're just creating presence. So here is the answer. I did not write it here. I have the real data. 4 to 6 seconds is the answer. Average time spent on reading a CV. So I see Khagesh has mentioned 6 seconds, Shruti has mentioned 10 seconds, and everyone else is above. In reality, sometimes they're not even looking at the CV. It's a door opener. And by the time it has come to the market, they have not found somebody in their own network. So, looking at the time, and you guys know a lot about CVs, etc., you can find on Google and so forth, but I'm going to share some must things that we see as regular problems. And I do have some example CVs if we have the time to go through. If your work was in the past, and we are in the UK, they're very particular about English, very particular. If it is in the past, it has to be past tense. Many people create a CV and they keep adding the next job. And what happens is in 2024, I was leading a team of 5, and I leave that and I just add in 2026, I'm doing this, and it keeps everything nearly in the present or present continuous tense. The ATS system score you down. Please change it to past is past tense, present is present is. Strong adverbs. I'm going to give you some examples. Let me switch screen over here, and I am going to share two tools. I just googled it, so you can easily do that, but you please Google the British version because Indeed can give you US version as well. Action verbs, action adverbs. If you go down here, achieved, amplified, capitalized, enacted, endeavored. Every sentence should be a bullet point starting with an ed verb, overhauled, outperformed, and after that put a number behind it. Okay, I'll give you a number and I'll give you a real example on how I could find a number from here. Now, if one person says everything given the same, if one person says, I managed a team of 5, and the other person says, I supervised a team of 5, I spearheaded a team of 5, I assembled a team of 5, I coordinated a team of 5, which words sound common and which words sound strong to you? Because many people will simply write managed, led, created, etc. But go and use a word which is more stronger. Demonstrated, improved, implemented. These are the kind of thing. Now, how shall I write a quantifiable achievement? Now somebody came to me. He was applying for a software role, but his day job was Amazon delivery. And he told me, Jeev, I have nothing to quantify. I don't have any past. I don't know what to say. I said, okay, if you say so, let me ask you a few questions. I said, how many deliveries do you do? And that day I learned something. He said 200. I said, wow, 200 a week. No, 200 a day. I was like, really? You can do 200 deliveries per day? Yeah, I can do 200 per day. Oh, that's like 1,000 a week. That's 4,000 a month. Yeah. And what's your accuracy? Well, there is only one answer. I always deliver on time and it's 5-star reviews. Okay, I saw this voice changing and so forth, etc. So did your manager give you 5-star review? Yes. So what if there is a roadblock? What do you do? No, I mean, we have a software to find a different road. I texted to other people saying there is a roadblock and we'll find a way. I said, okay, and his name is Sanjo. He doesn't mind sharing his name, hopefully. We have done a PR article on that. I said, correct me if I'm wrong. You can give an output of 5,000 deliveries in the retail industry with 5-star reviews and near 100% accuracy, with attention to detail, problem solving ability, coordinating and communicating. Do all of this sound like your skills that you can bring to the job? He says, yeah, all of these I have done it. Does your CV show it? No, it does not. So what we put there, we put the word 1,000 deliveries per week. We put the word near 100% accuracy, etc. Now, this is a very extreme example, and you guys are doing way better things compared to somebody doing Amazon delivery. So what you would be doing is how many people you have worked with, who was in the team. Use the STAR method. STAR, situation, task, action, result. This was the situation. This was the task I was given. This was the action I could provide, and this was the result I did. Yes, you can put current part-time job role as transferable skills. You have to start listing down, and this is why this is in fact, let me see if I can log in on screen over here. By the way, we have no relation with Indeed. We have no relation with My Perfect CV. These are, you can use any other tool as well. There are many transferable skills that can go attention to detail, um, time management, conflict management, and so forth, which can go to the kind of role you're looking for, whether it is a data role, project management role, technology role, supply chain role, and so forth. Many times we are being very harsh to judge that, but you can do that. Okay, you can always put transferable skills. So at this point, let me open the CV and click on just edit. You can see there are so many CVs that we have reviewed. We regularly do these kind of things as well. There are free programs you can come for where you can get a CV reviewed. But if you go here, and as an example, um, in one, by the way, one good thing about My Perfect CV is you can change the template in one click. So you see, this is the template. In UK CVs, please don't use pictures. European CVs, you can use a picture. UK CVs, especially when it goes to ATS, they remove the picture, they remove the contact details, they remove the age. And please listen to this carefully, especially if you're a senior person. They do not see anything beyond page 2. The ATS is not looking anything beyond page 2. So I actually help people bring it down to less than 2 pages. I know you might have done amazing things which is going to page 3, but the system is not looking at it. Okay, so you can actually change the kind of template like I was mentioning. In UK CVs don't use pictures, but here you can see this CV has a ATS score of 65. Minimum I would request you to update things to 85. If it is below 70, look here, it says CVs above 70 tend to land more interviews. If it is below 70, it's not going to be even selected by the ATS. I'm sorry to say that, but you're being rejected by a robot, not a human. It has not even gone in front of a human. Okay, but then it starts giving suggestions. And let me just go into one of the roles over here, and you can see this person has started changing delivered, managed, and here look at this numbers. And somebody was asking, let me increase the font size here. So this person authored and optimized functional regression scripts, reducing test cycle time by 20%. In the first version of his CV, he did not put that. In fact, he had combined all of these into one line. And I asked him, hey Anil, I don't know anything about testing. Can you tell me what happens after you have done this regression things, etc.? No, there is something called cycle time, and this is what we are measured. Okay, what happens to cycle time? No, usually we improve it or we reduce it, etc. By approximately how much? And seriously, they are not going to double check every bit part of it, but he replied 20% reduction. I said, that's a powerful thing. Can we? And see, you tell me, when you're looking at this CV, are your eyes not going to the 20% compared to the thing which is not on bold? Human eyes will first go to bold and numbers. And that's what you have to put. The 98% SLA compliance. Okay. Now he was doing an amazing work. There was no number to put. I said, how many times did you do it? He said there was three major drops in 3 months. And how was the work? Yeah, it was really good. I don't know how to quantify it. I said, just put zero defect. Is it truth? He said, yeah, there was zero defect. Yes, it is truth. Zero is a number, but it makes an impact and increases the score in the CV. Okay. Cutting manual effort by 25%. Improving time management by this percent. Doing two major projects. Even if you have done two, see, once I was doing a project and my improvement was only 1.1%. I thought I failed in life. But later, when I went to my manager, he said, you have done a great job. But I said, and in fact, yeah, I said, I don't think I have done great because people are doing 10% improvement, etc. He said, no, you are not comparing apple with apple. 1.1% in your project equates to 7.5 million for our team for this year. This is the calculation. So in your CV, don't put 1.1%, put 7.5 million. Making sense? It's how you spin the story. I'm not asking you to lie about it. I'm asking you about, because CV is it's a sales tool that is selling on your behalf. And all of these are truth. See, the person actually did 100% audit acceptance. Now, somebody was asking about the keywords as well. So if I go to one of this and click on edit, and in the edit, if you start now this person was test analyst, I'm going to put, let's say, project manager. I'm just playing with this CV. It's that person does not have access to it. So you see, drop down has project manager, but slowly in the work history, it will start giving you suggestions for what to write in the project manager part. Can you see? Utilized advanced project management tools, implemented quality control measures. If you type in the chat, I will use one of your examples. Let's say you are looking for a business analyst. This is why I like, by the way, my perfect CV, even the paid version is only £3 a month or something. It was made for students. And again, repeat on record that I have no affiliation with the company. There are many such tools available. So let's say somebody asked for software engineer. Okay. So let's go to software engineer. And even in software engineer, there are many other kinds. So here, enhanced security measure to prevent data breaches, led team meetings, enhancing communication, improved system performance by this and that, mentored junior developers. So let me just click on this and this comes over here, and then I will change the percentage depending on the truth. So in this case, for example, authored and optimized and reduced by 20%. Let's say mentored junior developers. I normally ask, how many junior developers? Even if you have done one junior developer, two junior developer, no problem. Let's say two junior developer, and that two, I will make it bold. Practices boosted team competency level by how much? By 1%, 2%, 3%, etc. Let's go down a little more. Delivered project within stipulated timelines. Now here is a soft skill. The way you put it depends. It simply means performance under pressure. So you can simply say, I can perform under pressure. And these are music to recruiters. Performance under pressure. Okay. Now, I'm conscious of time, but you can always play with this and you can go back and look at your score. Those were the action verbs, etc. If I come back, I mentioned CV, strong adverbs. Please put numbers. Look at your ATS score. There are many ATS tools that will tell you the CV does not need to look beautiful. The CV needs to have a good ATS score. Even if it looks really like made in the 80s, but if the ATS score is 95 plus, the software will take it up the queue. Try to avoid tables, and if you avoid tables, make a PDF. Never send Word document because tables really mess up your CV. Match your keywords with the job. Yes for links, and please don't make it more than 2 pages, even with huge respect. Now, here's a couple of things. Our CV, when I get a job, by the way, when I was getting job rejects, and there was a time I was jobless, believe me, I was struggling for money. I've failed in life as an entrepreneur many, many times. Now, many times when we get a reject, even from a bot, We feel we are a failure. I am a failure. I have failed, blah, 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 etc. In fact, those days, agents used to forward my CV from one place to another, and I used to get rejected from a job I never even applied to. I was like, yeah, I did not even apply to this job, and I got rejected from that job. I mean, and then I made a folder in my Gmail called rejects, and I started collecting. And one day I changed that folder. Instead of calling it reject, I said thank you. I said, I'm not going to be getting worried. Your CV being rejected by a bot is not a reflection of your self esteem. It's not a reflection of you. It's a reflection of the process, of the market, of the keyword, of the matching system, etc. If you go to networking, if you go to events, if you go even positively stalk people on LinkedIn by giving them advice and opinion. Remember, I said two kinds of things get most comment. If you give people insight and advice, or if you disagree with someone, you will get a lot of comments. Do that, and your CV, your profile, LinkedIn will start sending your articles to them. And without even applying for it, they are starting to see value. It's a long game over there. Does it require writing in a quantifiable? I would say please do put some quantifiable points. Here is the reason why, and this is the same question when people say, do I need to put certificate or not? If I have candidate A who says that I've increased the profit by 2%, and if I have candidate B who says that I've improved the profit, you tell me which one will you choose? Somebody who says 2% or 5%? And that's the difference it makes. So putting, because you're meeting so many people with competition. Spin the story. Somebody asked about career break. I want to answer that question. Always be truthful. People are really understanding of career break, and as long as you have a real reason for it, people accept others with career break. You can actually put from this point to this point I was doing this. However, in the career break, put something like I did a project for charity. Do a real project for charity, by the way. Again, I'm not suggesting you lie about it, but spin the story in the right way. Like I gave the example of the Amazon delivery driver, you have to spin the story. When he dropped out of university, it was because of COVID, and because there was a caring reason, etc., or because your visa was not working in that case. But at that time you were trying to do some white paper, some case studies from LinkedIn work, etc. What they don't want to see is that you were partying and doing drugs or something like that. Those are red flags for everybody. But if you share that career break in a right way, there are so many women. We have 34% of our learners are women, and they struggle a lot. I respect them because they have so many responsibilities, and recruiters, they don't tell it, but they are rejecting just because the person's name. In fact, people reject just because your name is too long. And what I say is, do you want to work for such a company? I don't think that's a good culture if they're deciding on those basis. But if someone has a career break because of childcare and so forth, do mention it, no problem. And if you get questioned, explain it in a justifiable way, and everybody gets it. How shall I find groups related to my job? You can easily find groups just by searching. You can take the premium version for 1 month trial. You can take, okay, this is one thing. If you even know one person with premium account, they can invite two other people for 2 month trial for free. So if I have a premium account, I can invite one of you for 2 months for free. So even if you have a friend, colleague, boss, whoever who has a premium account, they can invite you. Even and without even inviting you, you can get premium account for 30 days for free. Okay. So yeah, make a list, make a B list, and always have a C list. A list is company, I mean dream company. B list is company you have to fight a bit. C list is company you will get it anyway. So identify the business problems. You are really not solving your problem. You're first solving the client problem. Problem first conversation, so that they see you as a solution. They will ask you for advice. There is a really good story about this. There was this guy who really criticized Airbnb's marketing plan and made a 5-page report about it, put it on Twitter those days, and he thought, I mean, nobody will look at it. 2 months later, he was one of the chief, I think, head of marketing for Airbnb, because in a way he solved the problem for Airbnb. Airbnb said, "You're actually telling the truth. How can we solve it? We understand." Map your warm network, ex-colleagues, trainers, alumni, suppliers. Even if you're in university, when I was in university, I was checking who else passed 5 years before, what are they doing, who else are doing the networking like the ones you are doing right now. Be useful before asking them anything, and useful in their eyes, not your eyes. You are already intelligent, you are already amazing. They should think, I need to talk to this person. This person is from this place, this background, this quality, this certification, etc. The moment they see that, that's it. And follow up, follow up, follow up professionally. Okay, follow up gives you advice. It that point it becomes a numbers game. Okay, so the hidden job market is really not hidden, it's unspoken. The valuable people, they don't have time to talk with people who are saying give me a job. And I was one of them. I'm saying I have done so many mistakes. Please don't do the same mistakes. So jobs are forming around problems, not adverts. People hire people. CVs is a door opener. Okay, bad CV, don't get a job. But without a CV, people have got jobs. Hiring managers and team leaders matter more than just portals, etc. Asking smart questions, way better. Reputation comes before request. We have seen that in networking. Some very esteemed people are now in the audience. They know way more than me. Even in networking, reputation comes way before. Be known as useful before you are needed. Believe me, people will invite you to jobs. There will be companies fighting for taking the same person. And one warm conversation will beat this spray and pray model of LinkedIn. You should still do LinkedIn, Indeed, Read, etc. But one word of mouth can change and beat the entire queue. You can get even more information about us later, and you can always ask us questions later. I'm very conscious of time. We're 7 minutes past 7. I really appreciate your patience. I really enjoyed the questions. I'm still available for 5 more minutes for any other questions with permissions from the organizers. But hope you heard something that you had not heard before. And even if you take one thing out of it and do something about it, and see, there are not many guarantees in life, but if you start acting on it, I can guarantee that life will turn it around. Seriously. Sincere thanks for listening. You can
Thank
still
you.
ask questions. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeev. Most of the questions which have been asked in the chat box are being answered time to time.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Is there anything else that is lurking in your mind? By the way, if you ask a question, it is helping everyone else, by the way. Think of it, it's a service that you're doing. So be brave. We are in a very safe environment. Sankarji, Nitinji, if you have any questions, please let me know. Comments, advice, guidance.
No, I think it was a great
Nothing, no
session.
questions. You well done, amazing. You spot on went to all the right points for anybody to learn, and very importantly, telling about star, which is very important for people. Amazing. It's a good job done. I hope I've taken lots of things home, so I hope others have also taken similarly.
Definitely. Sincere thanks for
Thanks for
that.
your
And
contribution. No,
yeah,
thanks for your contribution to the society that makes HEF also proud on the table that we have people like you on board, willing to take time out and contribute to the community. That's what we look at. Yeah, highly
definitely.
appreciate your time.
And we all learn every day. And everyone, please remember what Shankarji mentioned about STAR: situation, task, action, result. That makes it so, and put some numbers in between. That makes the conversation very, very valuable. JP has a question. JP is Jitendra. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, firstly, I would like to echo what Shankarji has said and don't have any more words to add. The question what I have is, I'm forcing a situation. coming up in UK especially
Mm-hmm.
is basically the companies, especially after COVID, they are trying to please the stakeholders and investors by reducing the operational cost. So moving the job basically to the low cost region. So
Yeah.
people having right skills and attitude, because I've been into one of a similar situation where there was a need of a work. I was already
Mm-hmm.
working, but the management has taken a decision that unfortunately they want this profile to be taken out from Sterling and has to move in say Asia Pacific.
Right.
And so, how we within the UK can deal with this offshoring problem? I'm
Yeah.
using the word problem because lots of jobs from many multiple domains are being offshored to low cost region,
Yeah.
and the executors are themselves concerned, but they cannot overrule the financial or investors.
Perfect. Really, really powerful question. Very valid question. Thank you for asking because some of us are actually thinking about it. Now, here's my thing. Let us choose our battles. Even in the middle of rocks, you can see a sprout coming. That means you have to find the niche where you fit in so that you can grow. I'm not saying that I can give you the answer to fighting economic war between countries. If they have to offshore, they have to offshore. If they don't have to offshore,
Mm.
they don't have to offshore. Those are the bigger macroeconomic parts of it. What you can control is where you can fit your niche. So when one of my friends was doing a company related to travel booking, people were worried like there are so many companies doing travel booking. Why are you doing travel booking? Where are the jobs in there? Where is the money in there? Someday some big company is going to kill you and outsource it, etc., etc. But this gentleman, he does travel booking only for wheelchair users. That is his niche. And believe me, a 10% company is doing 15 million plus. Why? Because there is the niche. So when there is this blue ocean, red ocean, you can check the book on YouTube. Don't read the book because it's too big. You can see the summary. These days, people are in a rush. They're listening to summaries. There are blue oceans, there are red oceans. We cannot be fighting the red oceans. But what you can do is if you find the niche, the opportunity opens. So, coming to your specific situation, what I would do in your case will sit through the CVs, will go through what have you done in the past, where is the market, do you need an upskilling in something, or can you do some other transferable skills where you can do something else? Because maybe where you are looking, that is a losing game because you're fighting with macroeconomy. But when you are focusing on your niche, I can guarantee that you have something that some company is right now looking in the UK to give you that kind of price. The question is, how quickly can we make you match? If the right person and the right company match, that's the job. But if the rest of the things, I leave it to wiser people who are fighting economic things. There are not just outsourcing is a big problem these days. Near sourcing. I mean, there are countries within less than 2 hours of UK which are taking away jobs, and this is what I meant. Too many average people taking food from our table.
Yeah.
We cannot let that happen.
Absolutely fair point. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And happy to take it offline because case by case everybody has something that you will see. This is another way to put it. Even during World War, people were thriving. Some people were really in trouble, but what I'm trying to say in a very exaggerated way is during crisis you have still opportunities.
True. And for benefit of wider people within the forum now, actually, I figured out how to fix the problem is into the new organization where I head into. I knew similar thing is happening already, but the way I tackle the situation is I straight away get into basically I'm into a project management role. So I straight away ask them, okay, how exactly this business model, which is now offshoring. So we people, whatever skill set we have, where do we fit best as per you think in the current organization, and some of us had that ability and some are the points which we need to bang on, and actually the management more happy because they want someone not to be doing the groundwork but overseeing it and
And
keep the
hit the
show going.
ground running. Exactly. So you have created value in their eyes, yes or no? They see
Yeah,
value in you, and there was a question, how do I create value for? Yes, you have created the value. Compared to rest of the market, you are above average for that particular thing.
true. And I will just add one last point is sometimes being honest that look, maybe you guys sitting up the above level in hierarchy may not know, but I do come up and say, oh, honestly, that 30% of my time is not getting consumed and I'm getting bored. It's good I'm getting paid free, but that has added value and increases the credibility.
They have to find a solution to that and fix it. Yeah, well
Thank,
done.
thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
So, yes, so thank you so much for those brilliant questions first. And thank you, Jivji, for such detailed and honest answers from your end. Jivji, I want to take a moment to truly thank you on behalf of everyone present here. When our team reached out to you for the first time, you were in Birmingham conducting a major corporate session. Last week, you were in Southampton. Your schedule is incredibly packed, yet you managed the time for our students today. Uh, you didn't just showed up, you shared insights that usually stay behind closed doors. That generosity, that willingness to give back to the community is exactly what YHEN stands for. Thank you for embodying the spirit of Paropkar. So Paropkar,
Thank
it
you for
means
this. Yeah. Yeah.
Paropkar, it means lifting others as we rise. We are deeply grateful. We are deeply grateful, Jivji. Sincere thank you so much once
See, I
again
just
from
want to
all
add
of
one
us.
thing with
Yeah.
gratitude is when we are seeking jobs, sometimes our self-esteem gets hurt when we are getting rejects. And I want to tell, I believe in each and every one of you. Any day, if you feel down, pick up the phone and call me, even if I'm doing whatever, because this is really important. When people believe in people, magic starts happening. So let us
Yeah.
believe in ourselves, let us believe in each other, and let us take this to some action. Otherwise, it will be 60 minutes of inspiration, then we go back to normal life. If you have really put one little thing every day, I can guarantee that things will change. And after a month, after 2 months, etc., you will see things will be completely different. So, small action will really change everything done consistently. I really am grateful for all of you, but believe in yourself.
Yeah. And yes, like for everyone, as promised, everyone who stayed until the end will receive some resources. And our team has noted down the emails and will be in your inbox by tomorrow morning. Please check your spam folders. Definitely, if not in your inbox, it will be there in the spam. Now, here it's something really important. We have a YHN WhatsApp community where the real magic happens. We post job links from our networks, opportunities. You won't find the jobs anywhere else. Members share opportunities and support each other. You get direct access to YHE and team. First, to know about even like the upcoming events, what are there, you would be always notified right there. And the most important thing, we are looking for senior volunteers to help us grow YHN. Perks will be, uh, yeah, so we are more than happy to see few of you guys to work with us within the YHN senior volunteers team. And yeah, thank you so much once again for everyone who has been present here and attended this session. We would be having our next upcoming webinar next month itself, which is in the month of February. We would be coming with a stupendo fantabulous fantastic topic, which is a very hot topic around AI. So looking forward to see you and yeah, improve our everyone's knowledge together. Thank you so much and
Just 1 minute,
namaste.
Sankit, just 1 minute.
Yeah.
Nitin, do you want to say a few words for job opportunities?
No, I think Jeev has covered a lot of the ground. I don't want to repeat everyone's words. I just have ditto. Just believe in yourself. Be confident when you're going for an interview. That's very important because your CV may look very good, very impressive with all the figures and things, but your confidence is what people look at when they speak to you, right? So just make sure that you can level up your confidence to your CV.
My question was, Nitin, you were offering some jobs for people in this
Oh,
group.
for
That's
my
what I was
jobs.
aiming at.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry. So, okay. So there is something really interesting. We are currently looking for a lead role in for South London and East London area. Okay. So we will share that information on the WhatsApp group by this weekend.
Yeah. And one more thing from Bhushan, who is here, Khagesh, who is here, uh, and myself. We do have Shankarji today attending the webinar. We feel very blessed that Shankarji turned out and attended this webinar. I know his routing is he has the tightest schedule among all of us here. So thank you so much, Shankarji, for attending this, and even Nitinji. We are grateful to have you on this webinar as well.
No, great work,
Thank
guys.
you.
Great
Welcome. You
work.
welcome. Welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll keep continuing. Thank you again, Jeev. I think we'll need more sessions over a period of time, because this is not a topic which gets over. There will be new participants who are not having access to this. Probably we'll have to expose you to them, and your way of even giving back, telling the students that you're able to help offline also is, we are very grateful for that. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you,
We're
everybody.
always open for all this support. We're also hiring ourselves, so please to stay in touch and we will definitely help. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you,
Bye.
everyone, and
Bye.
namaste.